Football Focus exclusive, Chelsea breaking news, Man United target Carlos Baleba destroys Chelsea with savage stronger dig after Brighton win. Subscribe to our channel to get daily breaking news and analysis through voice. Listen to the news and let us know what kind of news you want in the comments. Let's get started. Carlos Baleba is quickly becoming one of the most talked about young midfielders in the Premier League, and his latest performance for Brighton has added even more weight to the growing hype surrounding his future. The 21-year-old midfielder, who was firmly on Manchester United's radar, produced a display full of composure, aggression, and intelligence in Brighton's victory, and afterwards, he couldn't resist sending a pointed message that has been interpreted as a dig at Chelsea. For United fans, it was another reminder of why he has become one of the most coveted targets in Erik ten Hag's long-term rebuild. Baleba's influence against Chelsea was undeniable. From the first whistle, he looked determined to control the tempo of the game, dictating play with crisp passing and disrupting Chelsea's attempts to gain rhythm with his powerful interceptions. Brighton's midfield was relentless, and Baleba was at the heart of it. His defensive awareness, coupled with his ability to surge forward when needed, meant that Chelsea's players were chasing shadows for large parts of the contest. It was no surprise when the Seagulls carved out chances, with Baleba's energy and drive breaking lines time and again. After the final whistle, Baleba made comments that caught headlines as much as his performance did. He referenced Brighton's resilience and suggested that they were much stronger in key areas compared to Chelsea. While he didn't explicitly name individuals, the tone of his words was seen as a thinly veiled swipe at the Stamford Bridge side. He said, "We wanted it more, and we showed we are stronger in the battles and in the mentality. That makes the difference." For Chelsea fans already frustrated by their team's inconsistency under Enzo Maresca, it was salt in the wound. For Manchester United supporters watching closely, it was music to the ears. A player who not only delivers on the pitch, but isn't afraid to speak with conviction. United's midfield has been under the spotlight for some time. Despite the signings of Casemiro, Mason Mount, and Sofiane Amrabat in recent windows, there remains a sense that the balance isn't right. Injuries, loss of form, and a lack of dynamism have often left United exposed in big matches. This is where Baleba comes into the picture. The Brighton star embodies exactly the qualities United have lacked: energy, athleticism, and the kind of mentality that thrives in Premier League battles. His ability to combine defensive grit with progressive passing makes him the archetype of the modern midfielder. Baleba's journey to this point has been remarkable. Signed from Lille in 2023, he has adapted quickly to the demands of English football. Brighton's recruitment team has built a reputation for unearthing gems, and Baleba looks like one of their finest finds. His development has been rapid, and his performances against top sides have elevated his reputation. Manchester United scouts have been regular visitors at Brighton matches, and reports suggest Ten Hag has personally identified Baleba as a priority signing. What makes the situation even more intriguing is Chelsea's own previous interest in the midfielder. The Blues had considered a move, but failed to follow through decisively, allowing Brighton to swoop in. Now, as Baleba talks about being stronger than Chelsea after beating them, it feels like a narrative coming full circle. The implications of a United move for Baleba are huge. For Ten Hag, adding him to a midfield that already has the creative sparks of Bruno Fernandes and the promise of Kobbie Mainoo would create a balance that could transform United's fortunes. Baleba's physicality would complement Fernandez's artistry, while his tactical discipline would free up others to attack with more confidence. More importantly, Baleba looks like the kind of signing who can grow with United, shaping the team not just for this season, but for the next 5 to 10 years. Chelsea, on the other hand, find themselves on the receiving end of both Baleba's footballing lesson and his post-match comments. Their recruitment strategy has often been questioned, and missing out on a player like Baleba highlights once again how their scattergun approach leaves them vulnerable. Despite heavy spending in recent windows, the Blues still appear short in key areas, especially in midfield, where consistency and leadership are lacking. Baleba's words, interpreted as a dig, cut deep because they ring true. Chelsea's problems are not just about tactics or injuries, they're about mentality and strength in decisive moments. The Brighton victory and Baleba's performance also underline the shift in power within the Premier League's middle tier. Clubs like Brighton are no longer content to simply survive. They're competing aggressively with the so-called Big Six, often exposing their weaknesses. Baleba symbolizes this new era, a player who thrives outside the traditional giants but is destined to join one of them sooner rather than later. For United, landing him would not only strengthen their squad, but also send a message to rivals. They can still attract the most promising young talents in Europe, even with competition fierce and financial fair play restrictions looming. The question now is whether United will act decisively. With interest in Baleba growing and Brighton known for driving a hard bargain, any transfer would require substantial investment. Yet for United fans, the thought of a midfield anchored by Baleba and Mainu, supported by Fernandes, has sparked genuine excitement. It would represent a blend of youth, energy, and experience that could finally bring balance back to Old Trafford. Baleba's post-match comments may have been a small line in an interview, but the ripple effect is massive. By calling out Chelsea's lack of strength, he not only boosted his own reputation, but also highlighted the very qualities that United crave. In a league where mentality is as important as talent, Baleba has shown he possesses both. His future may still be undecided, but performances like this suggest that it won't be long before he is wearing the shirt of one of Europe's elite clubs. Whether that's Manchester United remains to be seen, but for now, Baleba's rise continues, and Chelsea, once again, find themselves on the wrong end of both the scoreboard and the narrative. This is not just another transfer rumor, it's a glimpse into the changing landscape of English football. Carlos Baleba is not just Brighton's midfield engine, he is a symbol of where Manchester United want to go, and a reminder of how far Chelsea still have to travel. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our Football Focus YouTube channel for more update news and analysis.